All right, guys, so let's do this part 2. Wrestling is so much more than just the WWE. Now, let me come at you guys this way. When we were kids growing up, and even me taking my kids to see, the other companies, the different wrestling shows that come out, and we would go watch them. So it didn't have to be the WWE. It doesn't have to be AEW. It didn't have to be WCW, the NWA. It didn't matter. It was wrestling. So imagine this here, right? You go to these shows, and during these shows, the kids see certain wrestlers, and those independent wrestlers become their favorite. Now, when it's a situation where you don't see these people on the big screen, you don't see them at the bigger companies, it doesn't matter. But anytime they come in town, or anywhere where you're close to, hey, we can drive over there, and it's not you basically went out. Wrestling used to be for the families. Now, yeah, there's still families that watch it, I'm sure, but it's not the same. Nothing's the same. Everything has changed, okay? Hardly anything you see now is family oriented, all right? But we had fun. So imagine you arrogant people sitting there talking about, oh, those guys you watch are jobbers. They're jobbers. Yeah, you're a jobber as well. You don't own anything. You work for someone. And even if you do, so what? You don't understand that people find enjoyment in things that you cry about. So we supported professional wrestling because, hey, we enjoyed what we were watching. And like I said, it didn't matter what company it was. Now, I can remember enjoying watching Smoky Mountain, the AWA, the NWA, WWF at the time. Anything, man, like UWF, WCCW. I mean, we there was so much that we watched, and we were fortunate where there was some guys who we used to get like videos from. They would just give us stuff, and we would see wrestling we didn't even know about. And I mean, we used to watch it on local access channels or whatever. It was, the point is, we watched wrestling, and we weren't on no bougie nonsense. Oh, it has to be the big time, or it's a waste of our time. No, it's wrestling. And the beauty of it was, you could watch these guys, and you see these guys in the independents, and all of a sudden they go popping up in WCW or NWA or whatever, the bigger organizations at the time. So we just enjoyed wrestling. And people say things like, well, if we had the internet back then, there's no need to pretend or imagine, because we didn't. So the world wasn't ready for the internet back then. The internet happened when it happened. Okay, the bottom line, we had the wrestling magazines and all of that. When we went to school, our conversations didn't sound like, oh, I don't watch WCW, it sucks. Oh, I don't like NWA. Nope. We talked about all the matches we saw, and it was always, oh, imagine if this guy fought that guy, and you know what, I like this guy. This guy, he's this way, that way, and yeah, and that was a great match. And we would, we're on the phone, hey, you watching UWF right now? Yeah, you see Hercules Ayala? Yeah, this and that. Oh, the Dingo Warrior, he's about to fight such and such. I mean, this is what we did. We enjoyed it. And that's what we talked about. You never heard us having conversation, talking about how we hate this company, we hate that company, and acting like our lives were over. If you watched an episode of something, and let's just say it wasn't its best episode, okay, life goes on, man. It's just entertainment. That's it. That is just it. Think about this. You watch a sitcom right now that's decades old, and I bet you laugh your ass off every time you watch it, just like it's brand new to you, right? Unfortunately, professional wrestling isn't like that for a lot of people, but I can sit and watch the old stuff, and you're like, damn, I remember this. Oh, okay, I remember when this happened. Okay, yeah. Oh, we went to that event, remember? Like, it was always fun for us. But this generation has been poisoned with this whole like I said, pick a side and hate on whatever else is out there. I mean, man, everything. I watched Eddie Murphy. We watched whoever, and we did what we did. I didn't give a shit about trying to compare who you think is funnier. This one, man, I don't care. If I'm watching Pryor, old shit or whatever, okay, Pryor was funny for his, whatever. Okay, I like Eddie, I like whoever. Like, you understand what I mean? It wasn't about a comparison. We were artistes, man. We used to draw all the time, and we just, I mean, we had fun. This generation doesn't know how to have fun. It's like, it's the in thing. It's the cool thing. To just be angry and upset. And when you speak, you have to tell everybody how much you hate what you just saw. We loved watching professional wrestling. And this is what I'm saying. You can't tell me about being a professional wrestling fan I'm appreciating, what it is, or what. You can't tell me about that, because it's not the same mentality. Everything is, let's jump on the bandwagon of what's popular. And I believe a lot of these channels just say what they think will bring some money to their channel, because let's be honest, man, for me to sit up and watch something that I don't like and just indulge in it, it's like, what am I doing with my time? So the videos that I make is to enlighten you guys about professional wrestling as a whole, man. It's not about, let's rag on this company or that company. No, but I'm also here to bring awareness to the company that you're sitting here vouching for doesn't care about its audience. And I'm honest about what I say. I'm never going to sit here. I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not going to sit and tell you something just to tell you. Man, we've gotten to a point where, like I said, it's hey, man, look, you got a female rapper out there, I'm not even going to say her name, who has a line of lipstick named after vaginal diseases. Okay? You got a lipstick called Booty Hole Brown, gonorrhea, syphilis. Like, just imagine going to the store with your woman and she, let me get that syphilis. Oh, baby, I got syphilis. Just listen to how that even sounds. I mean, think about it. They have a beverage called Liquid Death, right? Everything has that bad guy twist on it. Everything it's really the type of thing where, it makes me think about when I was a kid. I remember listening, like, when this, a lot of rappers came out, and I'm like, why everybody got some type of murder in their name, killer, everything got something to do with harming somebody, right? And as I started to get a little older, and because we was right, I started doing my little rap thing and everything as well. And I'm like, it got to a point where this is what these labels wanted. So they didn't want you to uplift and build and say positive things. No, they didn't want that. They wanted NWA. They wanted murder, murder, kill, kill. And it's like, wow. And when you start to understand how things happen, a lot of things you just lose interest in, because of the nature of, what it represents. So, everything I look at, I used to love that. Remember that old Incredible Hulk show? We were kids. I used to love watching that. Remember that old Spider-Man show that used to come on? Like, yeah. And some of this stuff wasn't even in syndication. It was old by the time I saw a lot of it. But it was like we were watching it and we enjoyed it. We didn't go to school the next day and go, oh man, I hate the Hulk. Oh, I hate that show. Oh man, like I said, if something wasn't that good, like, okay, I thought the He-Man movie sucked with Dolph Lundgren, but we loved watching He-Man. So it could have been better, but damn, we wasn't walking around and talking about it every other day. No, it happened. It's over with. Okay, maybe they'll get it right next time. All right. Another thing that people don't pay attention to is this. You have a lot more access to things now than we did when we were kids. So, like, if a show came on, like, just say if Clash of Champions came on, there was no replay. So either you saw it, and the most you do is, go get the VCR tape, record it. If it was, so you had that option. But bottom line is, you either watched it or you missed it. Okay, that's how that went. Nowadays, let's just be real. Do you guys? Like, this is what I mean about common sense, man. You got Max, HBO Max, you got Netflix, you got the CW network, you got Prime Video, you got Tubi, You know what I mean? You got all the stars. You got all of these different streaming apps to watch. You have so many, different ways to listen to music. Do you think that out of everything that comes on a TV screen, that all everybody want to watch is simply just professional wrestling or just one particular thing? No. You got your football fans, you got your NBA fans, you got your boxing fans. You have your sitcom fans. You got your fans that like to watch, movies and well, I don't know, The Walking Dead is not in syndication anymore. But I'm saying people watch their shows. So yeah, people have their little favorites that, okay, I'm locked into this. This is what happened with me, okay? I loved watching The Walking Dead, but I also like Fear the Walking Dead, and I like Z Nation, right? So I got to a point where in between watching The Walking Dead, and my sons, they loved Z Nation. We watched all 5 seasons of Z Nation. And I still haven't watched the 11th season of The Walking Dead, the last one. I still haven't seen the last one yet. I never got a chance to finish watching Grimm. It's too much. So this is what I mean about when you narrow things down to, okay, I got to miss this if I'm going to watch that, because it's just too much. And you know that feeling you have when you watch something and say you get to the first 3-4 episodes and then all of a sudden you take a little hiatus and it's like now you don't even remember where you left off. So it's like, damn, I got to start from scratch again because you're watching it and, okay, wait, what happened? Now you got to go back because somebody died in the last episode. You didn't remember what happened and all this kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, guess what? You were a season and a half behind. So things like that. Yeah, man, so it's just so much to do. Man, we go out, we travel, we do some things. So no, we're not glued to a TV, which means there's a lot of couch potatoes out there because we can't just sit and do just one thing. But just think of all the people in this world, what they like and what they don't like. New Japan is big in Japan. Okay. So I don't know what their ratings are. I don't care about the ratings, but I don't know what how many people are tuning in to watch them faithfully. I don't know what the Japanese audience is. But nobody over here, I've yet to have somebody come to me and say, hey man, I'm about to go home and watch New Japan. Hey man, I'm about to go watch MLW. I don't even hear people say that. When I was growing up, man, and listen, our whole thing was about enjoying what we were watching. That was the whole point. Why am I going to sit down and tune in to something that I don't like? And let alone, I'm going to jump on social media just to tell everybody how I hate what I just watched. It just doesn't add up. So this is where we are, right, as a society. People just don't understand how to focus on what's good. They embrace what they don't like. It's just one of these things where socially we're different. There's people that I see right now that I don't even let come around me. You know that machine, the drive-up ATM always has to do something crazy at the wrong time. But okay, everything went through. So, like I was saying, we're different socially. Like I'm that person that I don't want to hear your bad news. Like first thing in the morning, you're going to work. You're walking across the parking lot to go to work. Good morning. It's not that good. My wife did this, my wife did that. This morning my daughter did this and this and that. And it's like, hey, listen, man. Take your wet blanket somewhere else. It's too early for all of that, right? Today, this is what people do, right? Back then, yeah, people complained and whatever. We're human beings, right? But what I'm saying, for the most part, that's not what really went down. We didn't grow up like that. The majority of the complainers when I was coming up, in all honesty, was like our parents, like our elders. But when you've always had complainers, okay? You've always had negative people. But I'm saying it's like the negative people that are like, this is all they live for. They got to find something to complain about. They're never happy, right? You just have people that's just like that. Those people wasn't complaining about TV. They wasn't complaining about music or what. No, it was just life in general. So there were always, something was always wrong. It was always a problem, right? That's what that was. Man, I swear these people don't know how to goddamn drive. But that's what was going on. Now, me on the other hand, you know, my attitude is different. So the people that I'm around, I'm very picky about who I choose as my friends and who I even consider a friend. But case in point, we pretty much, it was all about enjoyment. So people that came around me with that negative energy, they learned that no, he's not into that. I'll let you know that, man. Listen, take that somewhere else, man. For me, it's all about solutions. Okay, what's the problem? What's going on? All right, and sometimes I don't listen. I don't have the answers for everybody. Sometimes you don't even have the answers for yourself for something. You know, you just got to trust the process. And hey, okay, let me troubleshoot this. Let me get the information. Let me see what I need to do. You know, but it's like I don't sit and harbor this mentality of let's just complain. Let's find something to be wrong. And there's people that's just like that. They cannot help themselves. So for me, it's always been, if I'm going to be a part of something, I want it to be a positive thing. So these conversations that I see, it amazes me how people just indulge, man. And it's like I said in one of my previous videos, if you're going to complain about WrestleMania and complain about the WWE and how they're racist and they're trash and they're garbage. Okay, you're acknowledging all of this, but then you're sitting up here ordering WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or whatever event they have, and you're sitting or paying the extra money to watch ESPN or whatever, right? You're sitting here watching it, having a watch party about it. And you're going to tune in to somebody's watch party to listen to them sit there and just complain all night long. So how smart are you? This is what I'm saying. So it's like the idea is to tune in to see what we can complain about. And I just feel like not only is it a waste of time, it's just completely stupid, and I'm uninterested in that. So yeah, man, it's like the mindset is so different of people now. Because like I said, we did things that we enjoyed, man. I remember we would go to the arcades. We would go to, like, every corner store had at least three video games. You go in there, some of them still had pinball machines, right? And like the old school guys, oh, they got that pinball. So yeah, we got a taste of that, and we would, you know, so like we enjoyed things, man, and that was the whole thing. It's enjoyment. We did things that was fun. Okay, I never did drugs. I never smoked, drank, did none of that. I didn't smoke weed, nothing, never. My body is pure. And as I got older and I started to meet people that this was their cure to get through a bad day, it's like we grew apart. Because I'm just the opposite of that. Now, all of this, what I'm saying, is leading to the point of there's people who do things because they enjoy it. And there's people that do things because they have nothing better to do with their time. So if you enjoy complaining, well, then that makes that explains why you complain so much. I just don't see how a person can indulge in something that they don't like. And when you are talking with that high-pitched voice because you're so pissed off at a show, or you're sitting here acting like your mom just passed away because an episode was terrible, you can't blame that all on the WWE. Something's wrong with you. There's something wrong with your thinking. And you have a serious case of immaturity, for damn sure. Now, I look at all of this, and I come to this conclusion right here. If we focused on what we liked and what we enjoyed, it wouldn't even bother you that the WWE sucks right now. My message isn't about the episodes. My message is not to sit here and break down what happened, who did what. No. I will bring things up, you know, to throw in your face You know, that dummy smack to wake you up to say, look at the logic that they're using. Look at their reasoning for this person winning this match and how this title changed hands. And it's always like, for me, when I hear the complaints that people have about AEW or any other wrestling company, I look at the complaints that they have. I listen to the complaints that they have. I look at the comments. And it's like, it amazes me how you guys don't like anything. It really amazes me how you like absolutely nothing. But at the same time, you will make the time. You will make the time. Think about this. If you got a girlfriend, go make love to your woman. If you know what I mean? You don't have anything else to do but just sit up and complain about a 2-hour show. So in other words, if your woman want to give you something, you going, baby, nah, not right now. I got to watch Raw because I got to complain tomorrow. Nah, come on, baby. No, not right now. I got to watch SmackDown so I can complain tomorrow. I don't understand your way of thinking. That's what little boys do. I don't care how many gray hairs you got. I don't care how old you are. That's what little boys do. Why would I sit up and just waste 2 hours of my time? Well, 4 if you watch, 6 if you watch all 3, 4 if you watch the main 2. Bottom line, why would I sit there every single week and watch this crap just to turn around and ball my face up and complain to my audience about something that we all know sucks already? So I feel like these people are miserable. And it brings me back to Rhea Ripley's point when she said you guys have no life and you're just miserable people. She's 1,000% right. And I told you guys that then. Especially when, you know what it's like, man? Imagine you standing on the corner somewhere, right? You're in an area where people are going back and forth to work. Let's say a downtown type area. And let's say you see this pretty woman every single day. Now, the truth is, you're standing there hoping that she walks by. And she walks by and you approach her and she shows no interest. You talk to her, she shows no interest. But you just keep trying, right? But then when she continues to show no interest, you feel some type of way, call her stuck up, conceited, and everything else. But who made you keep going after this woman that kept rejecting you? Who made you do it? Okay, and I use that comparison because you guys love to say the WWE is making us do this. They're forcing us. No, my point is you make dumb decisions on your own, but then you're blaming a company like you have nothing better to do with your damn time. I mean, hey man, you go get some ass. What did Eddie Murphy say on Vampire in Brooklyn? Ain't nothing wrong with ass. Ass is good. Y'all better learn that. I mean, damn, this generation even, you call something ass when you don't like it. What kind of ass have you been getting? Yo, that dude is ass, bro. What kind of ass have you been getting? Yeah, you make ass sound like it's bad. Yeah, whatever ass you've been getting, you need to stay away from it. Or maybe that's why you're turning your girl down. It makes no sense to me, y'all. It makes no sense. I don't like the show, but I'm going to watch it anyway. And then give some crappy excuse about how I don't even watch the whole show. Why even waste your time? Hey, listen, you know what I did when WCW went away? I really didn't find any enjoyment in WWE, even when they were here. I just, like I said, it would be like here and there. But it's time where I stopped watching WWE completely, to where when I did tune in, I'm like, who the hell is these people? That's what it's been. It's been, I've never like had this, I'm loyal to the WWE, I have to watch. Like, no, I watch what I want to watch. But I never was drawn to them where it was just like must-see TV. It was certain things I didn't even care about. But, you know, you had people that was talking like it was the most amazing thing they ever saw. I told you, I never was crazy about The Rock and Stone Cold and all. For me, it's like when I watch a show, what I always liked about the NWA, for example, right, was they felt more like a sport. Yeah, they had, you know, Sting with the face paint and all, but I mean, like, just the in-ring activity. The WWE always had this, even when they were WWF, they had, like, I give you an example. And if you want to see one of the stupidest things you'll ever see, go right here on YouTube and type in, like, something like Bobby Heenan and the Missing Link in his cave or some shit, and it will make you go, "What the hell?" Okay, so while I'm watching Sting, wrestle against Cowboy Bill Irwin, was it? The WWE, WF at the time decided they have Bobby Heenan and Vince McMahon and the Missing Link. Now the Missing Link has his makeup on his face, his crazy haircut, his wrestling gear on, and they're in like a cave. Okay? But it's a swamp. You see the bubbles popping up, the water is different colors and smoke is coming out the water. And I said, wow. As a kid, I said, wow, a cave that has lights. And they're walking in with a microphone. We're in the home of the Missing Link. And this type of stuff was like, I didn't mind the characters reminding us of like real life superheroes. That didn't bother me. But the fact is, why is this man walking around? First off, why are you in a cave? And you're trying to tell us that this is where he lived. So where does he bathe? What does he eat? What is he, a real live Amazon from like the video game Pro Wrestling? I mean, it really just had me like, I couldn't get into it. This is my point. It was just, they just did things that was just corny. And it was like, wow, they really took it there. Okay. But we already knew that this stuff is not real. I knew as a kid, I grew up, I boxed, I did all this stuff. So I know when you really fight, nobody fights the way they do in a wrestling match. So I told you guys, like, a long time ago, we didn't, like, what do you call this shit? Okay, we know they call it wrestling, but I mean, what do you categorize it as? Because it just didn't feel like a sport. They're in the ring, they're wearing trunks and whatever, but it's like, what is this, man? Like, so yeah, you start to understand, kind of get the feel of what wrestling is. And I said, damn, when done right, it's very entertaining to watch. But look, here's the deal. It was never about, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. This is awful. I can't stand it, I can't stand it, I can't stand it. My dad used to complain. My father went from being a fan of wrestling, and he was more into the Bob Backlund era. Bruno Sammartino, he was more into that era. But I remember us sitting down watching wrestling on Madison Square Garden, and my father was into it, my mom, everybody, sitting there watching it. And my father went from being into it to like, they need to stop this fake stuff. And I'm like, every week, I'm like, Pop, well, why don't you go watch something else so we can enjoy it, man? Like, if you don't want to watch it, just don't watch it. And that's always been my mindset. If I don't like something, I just don't watch it. And I was on the page of watching Raw, SmackDown, and trying to get into it. I was giving wrestling news, and it got to the point where I'm just like, man, every episode just sucks. So why am I going to keep doing it? And I'm like, they lost their touch. And I told you guys, and I said, I'm done with giving news about WWE until something changed for the better. But the way they are, like I said, the operations they have running, I just don't care for them at all. I don't care if they turned everything around and became a great wrestling company as far as their product go. But just knowing what I know about the people that, I can care less about the WWE. But that's my reason. It's not about the in-ring product. The in-ring product I can get over, because I can tune out and I can tune in just to say, hey, let's see if there's anything, change for the better. But no. Once again, we were all about doing things that we enjoy. It was not about, let's complain, let's find something to, be angry about. Why am I angry? And people would say, we've invested money into this and we watch faithfully. Okay, and guess what? Now it sucks. You've had people, look, ask the people, ask your elders. Hey, did you used to like disco? Oh yeah, they'll talk about disco music all day. Ask the people that used to love house music. Oh, they loved it all day. So when that stuff faded away, it was like a sad day for them. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, you outgrow certain things, man. Sometimes, man, you see certain things happen, right? And we're talking about immaturity right now for a reason. You ever, like, hear a system and the bass is rattling and you can feel it vibrating through your body. And when the car pulls up, it's some dude with a receding hairline and all his hair is white, and he's sitting there, yeah, fuck, motherfucker, right? And you got people sitting there in the car with their kids. It's summertime, the weather's nice, the kid can hear every word. And you look and say, you think people would have more respect, right? And you know how that make you feel, so it make you know not to do that kind of stuff, right? I never was that guy. Everything in my car is stock. I don't need no booming system, and I don't care about all of that. Everybody don't need to listen to my music. I listen to my music for my enjoyment. And I'm explaining this to you guys because I have always carried a certain level of maturity where I've always been my own man, and I've always stood out, even as a kid, to where I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So I don't do what everybody else do. So when I hear all this complaining, it's like, why are you guys so robotic? Man, go find something else to do or something else to watch every Monday, every Friday, and then come back and talk about how great that is. Instead of constantly sitting up here watching a show, calling yourself pro wrestling fans when you only watch one brand you claim, but then all you want to do is shit all over every wrestling brand because the main one that you like sucks, dog shit, and you can't just be honest and say, hey man, you know what? The WWE sucks. Stop bringing up AEW. Stop bringing up any other company. It says it has nothing to do with AEW. This is the thing that, and you don't really realize how silly you sound, how sissified that is. I'm going to sit up here and make a rant about goddamn SmackDown or Raw, but somehow I got to just put a little tidbit in about AEW to say something negative. Like, it's not making WWE any better. And nobody cares. You're not an AEW fan, so if you're talking to a WWE audience bringing up AEW, well, only an idiot will get satisfied because you say something negative about AEW. Who cares? If they're WWE fans, why do they even care about what you say about AEW? This is what I mean about the hatred, the toxic mindset, the stupidity, the ignorance, the immaturity, the little sissified mentality that these so-called men have. Stop watching stuff you don't like. This is what we used to tell females. Hey, relax. Don't do all of that. Focus on what's positive. We don't need that. Simple. Simple. This is what you guys sound like. It's too much feminine energy out there, man. I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh, I can't stand this. Why did they do this? And it's because of this. It's because of that. It's because of whatever. Man, people just don't understand how to do anything anymore. They really don't. And when I listen to all of this talking, it just really makes me really wonder, like, what happened in your life? What happened in your life that made you forget what it means to enjoy something? Why doesn't that matter? Like, your own happiness doesn't mean anything to you. I mean, think about it, y'all. Your own happiness is being secondary. You're making your own happiness secondary. You can't blame Triple H for your stupidity. Triple H goes home to his mansion at the end of the day. He jumps on his Learjet and fly to places and do whatever he has to do while you go home to your little 1-2 bedroom apartment, upset, pissed off, and angry about what another grown man is doing, as if you have nothing else in your life to do. Like the WWE is your life support or something. That's like, it's your last lifeline. I have nothing without the WWE. That's what you guys sound like. You're blaming him. You have nothing. I mean, you tell me there's nothing that you enjoy doing? That's your whole life. So this is the thing that I feel like you're getting a dose of your own medicine. Because like I said, you guys call yourselves, you have a wrestling channel, but you only talk about one company. And like I said, if you talk about anything else, it's only to ridicule, right? So, y'all know I'm a careful driver. So, with that even being said, right, you guys are not paying attention to the facts, okay? The fact is, nobody's making you do anything, okay? Triple H isn't thinking about you. Triple H can care less about your damn complaints. and your little warped state of mind, because you seem to think that Triple H is somehow going to watch your video and feel pity, snap his fingers, and all of a sudden the WWE is back. They're doing what we want them to do. There's a certain thing as just outgrowing a particular thing, and you guys don't want to let go. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, I don't know what else has to happen for you guys to understand this, but it's a new day. And I don't mean the tag team. Simple. It's a new day. You guys, you know, if you hold on to nonsense, you don't realize how petty you guys are being. Because when you hold on to nonsense, the hardest thing for you to do is let go of nonsense. And you don't realize it. You're just making videos saying, and look, here's the thing. I agree with what I saw, what you guys were seeing, and you're still watching it. I agree with how terrible everything was that I was watching. And that's why I told you I'm just going to cut out on doing WWE videos, like reviews on Raw and SmackDown and all that. Look, I speak about wrestling, but I'm not a wrestling channel. Okay, specifically. I'm not limited to talking about just wrestling. But I find it really crazy, man, that, like I said, people will speak about something like it's complete garbage, but they won't let go of it. It's like you're afraid. It's just something about it. I hate it, but I'm going to continue to watch it. And the stupid answer you give is, no, it's because I love wrestling. No, you fucking don't love wrestling. Stop lying. You don't even love the WWE right now. Okay? You want to love it. You want to like it. But the WWE has changed. And you don't like what you're seeing. You don't like the product. And you just can't let go. And you want so bad for them to bounce back. But you decided to take that role. You're acting like whatever they do makes or break you. You have to just understand. What was isn't now. So, let's say for you guys that say John Cena's this, John Cena's that, right? One day, I want y'all to think about this. You're going to be saying some shit like John Cena was that guy, man. Yeah, Roman Reigns is this, Roman Reigns is that. And some little kid is going to look at you and say, he's not better than Iguana Man. And you're going to look like, what? Yeah. They don't care about your era. They only care about the here and now. Just like you didn't care about the 80s and 90s era. You didn't care about any of that. You pick and choose what you like, who you like. Okay, cool. But my thing about all of you is this. The fact that you try to discourage people from watching AEW when you yourself claim you don't like it makes you nothing but a hater. It's like saying, okay, I love Burger King. I hate McDonald's. But you never talk about Burger King. All you talk about is McDonald's. If you hate McDonald's and you love Burger King, why are you talking about McDonald's so much? What? How much can you say about something that you don't even indulge in? Right? So, therefore, that just makes you a hater. And it bothers you. Anything that someone says positive about AEW, oh man, AEW don't have no storylines. I'm like, yeah, you guys are nerds because they damn sure have storylines. You idiots just don't appreciate what they're doing. But you know what? It made me laugh when the rumor that Shane McMahon was coming to AEW. The way you guys, you start putting these little fantasies in your head about Shane's gonna do this, and they're probably gonna do that, and then Tony Khan's gonna run Dynamite, Shane's gonna run Collision. Like, where were you guys getting this stuff from? This is what I mean, how you guys hear something and then start putting a movie together in your head. Then when it doesn't happen, you're disappointed because you can't control your own thoughts. That being said, guys, you're not wrestling fans. I know what it's like to enjoy something. When we grew up playing video games, we didn't need social media. We didn't care. We didn't need any of that. We were on my couch in my basement. We had several chairs. We had people. We used to go down there and have our little Tecmo battles, our little, Madden or whatever we were playing, Street Fighter, whatever, Ring King, whatever. We were down there having fun. Not like you guys now, having tantrums, throwing your controllers across the room and cursing and swearing and it's like, man, you guys got anxiety. I literally saw a dude was playing Madden and was talking so much trash, he was getting his ass kicked. This dude is beating him like 47-7. Dude, you are ass. You are so ass. All you're doing, you're letting the computer pick your plays for you. You're not even talented. And I'm just sitting here looking like, this is a grown ass man. Sitting there with his Kansas City Chiefs jersey on, his hard hat, and drinking beer and screaming and hollering, "What the fuck? Kiss the fucking ball!" And I'm just sitting here going, this is. I hope he don't have kids. I really hope that this guy doesn't consider having kids. Because not right now, anyway. This dude this is a grown man. He's playing little kids, and the kid's kicking his ass, and the kid's cursing at him. He's cursing at the kid, and it's just distasteful to watch. But I'm sitting here watching this, like, listen at this dude, man. You're calling him ass, but he's kicking your ass. There's no reason and logic in anything. Everybody just wants to do whatever it is they want to do, and it doesn't have to make sense. Like Triple H said, right? Storylines don't have to make sense. This is how people live, man. You see this guy arguing, and he literally started pulling out a pump, sucking on it. Yo, man, you're stressing me out, man. You fuck, man. Like, damn, you're about to have an asthma attack over a video game. Like, are you really that stupid? And that's really, when I'm on social media and I'm watching things, I'm not even watching it like this is enjoyable. I'm really studying human behavior. Like, what happened to humans? What happened? How did we get here? How? This is not right, man. Like, you know what I mean? This is not right. How? And then they have no shame. Yeah, man, we sat there, had our little battles, used to have our little Super Bowl setups. I mean, we chilled. We knew how to have fun. My friends come spend the night, man. We down there, like I said, especially with some Tecmo Bowl, man. We down there just having our little seasons, and I mean, we were good. We had the electric football game. Well, we figured out how to make it work. We would take clay, and we would take a penny. I think we take a penny or a quarter, whatever. We take something, so like, and we put it in there and put the clay in, and it made the dials be able to move, like keep them straight. Because you know how you turn on, they just go in circles. So we just had fun, man. I had the Godzilla action figure when I was a kid, where you had the little roll in the back of the tongue come out, and then the fish shoot off. Had God King. We had Castle Grayskull. We had Snake Mountain. We had the A-Team. We had the van and everything. We had everything, man. We had the Thundercats. We had the freaking the what you call the what's the thunder the tank that the thunder tank? What is it called? I mean, we had everything, man. Snake Mountain had the microphone. I mean, we had fun. We had fun, man. And somewhere in the mix, fun became corny. DMX said one of the dumbest things I ever heard before he died, man. He said, I don't want to be happy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just him saying that. And people gonna think you soft, you know? And I looked and I'm like, damn. This is a guy who every time I see him, he's complaining. Haters, bitch ass niggas, and then out of his own mouth, I don't want to be happy all the damn time. What the why? If I never had to punch anybody in the face again, if I never had to earth slam somebody again, if I never had to curse out or get angry at anybody again, I would be elated. But just the fact to say, I don't want to be happy all the time. What? And I said, yeah, this is real. And this is coming from a grown-ass man. But this is what I mean, man. We had so much fun. We just knew how to have fun. Everything now is just anger and stupidity. And if you go on it, if you look at it, every chat, there's always some trolling smart ass, just a stupid person in the comment section, just leaving stupid comments. And this is the time that we're in. And look, unfortunately, now fortunately we can say professional wrestling is still here, but unfortunately, professional wrestling is just not mainstream. And you want to know what it comes down to? I will never tell you to pretend you like something if you don't. But the only time people really want to express themselves is when they want to complain. Now, for the people that express when they like something, okay, cool. But the problem, like I said, is you can't just complain about what you're watching. If you're watching Raw and it sucked, why the hell are you bringing up AEW? Why? It has nothing to do with Raw. No, we can't salute AEW. We can't give them credit. We have to say all of wrestling sucks because the WWE sucks. This is my point. So you basically is like, okay, if WWE crash and burn, we're going to take every other company with us because we're slaves to the machine. And that's all this is. And this is why I know that you guys are liars, because the only way you can even say AEW sucks is if you're watching it. And if you stop watching, especially for you guys that say shit like Mercedes Moné is my favorite wrestler, but unfortunately I won't be watching. Oh, Adam Copeland is my, yeah, right. You're the type of fan that nobody needs, because basically all you are is a flavor of the month type of person. Because if you've been watching Adam Copeland throughout the years, you know what Adam Copeland brings to the table. If you've been watching Mercedes Moné, you know what Mercedes Moné brings to the table. So for you to sit up here and label somebody as your favorite, but you're not going to watch simply because they jump ship, well, that's your choice. But once again, you'll say stupid things like, oh, they were better in WWE. How so? And do you forget that they made it their business to leave? Okay? Mercedes Moné was not being treated right. Adam Copeland, he wasn't being treated right towards the end. But he beat Sheamus in his last match. Yeah, and you know what? They have no plans for Sheamus to do anything big. He'll just be in matches, but Sheamus is not a big-time player anymore. See, the WWE, if they want you to be a king or a queen, they'll do so. You don't get necessarily demoted to a rook or to a knight. You understand what I mean? They'll make you a pawn if they feel like it. Problem is that what they don't understand is pawns are every bit as important as every other piece on that board, because without your pawns, you go straight, you understand what I mean, to what you're trying to protect is your king. So when you guys are sitting here and trying to make it seem like wrestling as a whole is just dead because of the company that you don't like what they're doing right now, you're toxic, man. And you're doing nothing to try to uplift the genre. All you're doing is acting like a spoiled little bitch. Let's just say it like it is. And that's what you see every freaking week. Nobody's making you watch it. Like I said, I used to tell my dad, Pop, well, we want to enjoy the show. Why don't you just go watch something else? No, he going to stand there the whole time. Look at this mess. Oh, that ain't real. Oh, that's fake. Oh, he didn't feel. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. Just like watching a movie. We know that the movies aren't real, but we just like a good movie. That's all. It's not that serious, man. But this is what I'm saying. If I don't like something, that's what I got a remote for. Next. Click lip. Yeah. You know what? I mean, even like myself, sit there. I feel like watching the last episode of Collision. All right, cool. Now I feel like watching Dynamite. Cool. You know what? I feel like watching The Exorcist, man. Let me go turn all the lights off, get my little horror blanket, and just chill, sit there and watch Linda Blair head spin around the circle. And yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just chilling, just having a good time. You know what, man? I feel like laughing. Let me go watch Friday. You know what? I feel like what? I'm just saying, right? You got all these different social, these platforms, these streaming platforms. It's just, you know, hey, I gotta go to the gym. Hey, I gotta go to the supermarket. Hey, you know what? Hey, let's go to the. Hey, you know what? Let's go rollerblading. Hey, let's go do this. Hey, y'all want to bowl? Y'all want to go play some pool? We have a life, man. So it's not that serious. In closing, this era is all about stats. When you watch basketball, same thing. You got people who haven't won a goddamn thing, but yet you're comparing them to the Bulls. You're comparing them to Michael Jordan. You have these football players, everybody. You got boxers. Oh, this guy was a multi-time undisputed. Yeah, but he has a weak resume. But he's an all-time great because of the accomplishment or because of who he accomplished it against. See, it's all about numbers. So you guys that was so hung up on ratings, I've been saying, the APA, I think it was, versus DX, or whoever it was they fought, had the highest rated segment ever in the history of the WWE. And it was an 8.9. The WWE haven't even came close to that. Okay, and their second biggest number since then has been this whole 5.9 on Netflix. Okay? And now they're down to a 2.3. But all you guys kept doing is bringing up AEW's ratings. AEW this, AEW that. And it was nothing but hate. And this is my point. You don't even watch the show. You watch highlights, right? And here's the thing. Let's watch it and just criticize it. But all I'm really caring about is what the rating is. I don't care about telling you what happened on the show. I just want to say the show sucks and then show that NXT won this, beat them this week. Yeah, they was kicking NXT's ass for a very long time. Things happen. Wrestling always have up and down periods. But see, what happened with the WWE, you guys couldn't see this happening. Nah, that would never happen to the WWE. So yeah, you watched your beloved WWE have a half-empty building on SmackDown. And a rating of 933,000 viewers. But you guys, AEW can't even get 1 million. Right. Now SmackDown came under, and hey, they might do even worse tonight. Who knows? But you guys don't get it. You don't get it. Stop calling yourselves wrestling channels because you're not wrestling channels. You should all be honest and just name your channels All Things WWE or something to that effect, because none of you are wrestling fans. And like I said, every legend you bring up is only somebody that you know from WWE programming or WWF. But you don't talk about the Austin Idols. You don't talk about the Nick Bockwinkel's. Yeah, you don't talk about the Antonio Inokis, the Bobo Brazils. You don't talk about these people. Everybody y'all talk about is someone strictly known from their WWE or WWF stints. No, so none of these other men and women that went out there and bust their asses to entertain mean nothing to you guys. And this is why I'm saying you're just as toxic as Triple H. So all of the things that you're saying, but you continue to watch, is because you're toxic just like them. And that's why you can tolerate nonsense. Like Triple H is going to change because of you. He told you guys to F off, right? And just enjoy the show and stop being critics. Right. You want to know what? When you hear Tony Khan talk, Tony Khan says things like, this is not only good for AEW, but this is good for just all of wrestling. I'm a fan of pro wrestling. Triple H isn't a fan of pro wrestling. The Rock isn't a fan of pro wrestling. Nick Khan isn't a fan of pro wrestling. They only care about what benefits the WWE. If you look at the ticket prices to their shows, all of their tickets need to have a scan of Triple H's middle finger like this to you guys, because that's what they're telling you. And that doesn't even wake you up. Like buying a ticket to come see a WWE show is more important than you taking care of your expenses and feeding yourselves. Let me close by saying this. It has nothing to do with wrestling. It has everything to do with good morals, okay? I seen a lady, and she was wiping tears from her face. I didn't know what happened. And when I was walking to go into the store, she smiled at me, and I said, hey, I hope whatever it is works out for you. I hope, you know. And then she, thank you, and she just, I'll be okay. I hope I'm okay. So I went in the store, and I bought what I bought. And when I came out, she was standing there, you know, and she just said, have a good night. And I said, are you okay? And she, yeah, I hope so. And then the tears started coming out more. And I said, do you need a Kleenex or something? And then, you know, I said, I mean, are you okay? Is there something I can help you with? I don't know this lady. You know, nice Dominican chick, long wavy hair and all. She was just, and then she just said, I don't know, sir, I feel so desperate right now. And, you know, voice was cracking and everything. And she just said, I'm working. They cut my hours at work. She said, and it's like when I feed my kids, I don't know if their bellies are full. I don't know how I'm going to maintain. I'm trying to just, I can pay the bills, but it's like I have just enough money to, you know, like if one thing goes wrong, I'm in a bad position. And it just hit me here because it's like, wow. And I looked at her and I said, you know, I said, what type of foods do you guys like to eat? You know, I just, you know, I'm this and that, and she's talking about steak, and you know, this is what people do, and they're trying to not show off. But you know, I don't know her personally. Okay, I'm not going to. Well, it's not like you guys know her, but anyway, she basically was telling me just, you know, just talking, and I said, you know what? I said, let me show you something. And like me, I know how to cook, and I like to, like, I'm a noodle guy. I love noodles. And whether I shrimp, chicken, whatever, like I love noodles, right? But I love the protein, and I like to make my noodles with egg. And it's like I got this nice little recipe thing. It's not about a budget, because I can eat whatever I want to eat. That's not the point. But it's inexpensive. It's very. And I said, you know what? And I asked her, do you like noodles and stuff like that? And she's, oh yeah, this and this and that's okay. Let me show you something. I showed her these noodles and this recipe, and I showed her where she could buy these things right where we are. I said, and your kids will eat good. They will be full every day, and I'll guarantee you. And I even gave her the recipe. That woman hugged me and cried like a baby, like literally cried all over my shirt. Like she was just so happy, because I said, yeah, in this way you can feed them throughout the week to where you're not broke buying food, because everything is expensive. Everything, man. Everything is expensive. Everything. Gas, laundry detergent, bread, milk. God damn. I got sick a couple of weeks ago. I went to go buy a gallon of orange juice. That bitch was $8. It's not 2 gallons. Same gallon. $8. I'm like, damn. Everything is expensive. So I told her, they will love this. And even like you can eat this for breakfast, lunch, or they did whatever. I'm showing her just the different things, and I said, now total up what you have right here, right? You can eat for a good 2 weeks straight with this, right? And her groceries ended up, for what I showed her, it came out to about $65. She told me she was spending like $180, $190 every, like, on food. And she was so, but you understand, because simple things like that, people are trying to, you know, provide for their kids, trying to make them happy. And like she said, you know, and I want my kids to be able to, you know, enjoy things. And I say, okay, you ever heard of Tubi? No, I said, okay. And I showed her, because I have the app in my phone. I said, this is free. They got cartoons, kids, all this kind of. That lady was so. It made me feel, honestly, that shit made me get misty-eyed, because I'm watching, like, genuinely, this woman was just so grateful that she just met somebody that actually just gave her simple little tips, to where you went from spending $190 and not even sure if your kids are full, and she said the food lasts like a week, not even a full week, and it's like she just keep going back, and because you got to eat through, hey, you eat multiple times a day. And what I showed her, she now, but it's like, and it's working out. And I said, Tubi is free. I said, so guess what? They don't need Disney. They don't need Prime. They don't need all this other stuff that you have to pay for. I said, now she's good with what you call it, Netflix, because T-Mobile pays for that. Okay? She got the T-Mobile set up. That's what happened with mine initially, right? And I said, now Tubi is free. And then I showed her all the free apps, and I said, of course, you might want to monitor what they watch. I said, but this is all free. All you gotta do is install it, and now your kids can watch their movies and all of that, right? And yeah, and I said, and so that lady was so happy. And then she said, sir, I don't have, but I said, nah, I don't want no money. I said, come with me. And we walked up to the counter, and her stuff came out. It came out to $60 something. It was maybe like $63 and some change, and I paid for her groceries. And she was just, her hand started shaking, and she hugged me, and she cried all over my shit, but I was just so glad that I could help this woman. Now, I want y'all to think about this. Imagine that woman kids going, Mommy, could we go see WrestleMania? She can't afford to take them to Wrestle. She couldn't afford to take them to see SmackDown on Raw. But imagine this, the independent wrestler that comes around, she take them to. And you jackasses going, oh, those wrestlers you're watching is just jobbers. You understand? Make them feel small about what they like. This is what I'm saying about the stupidity of how people think. Those kids would sit and watch these wrestlers and don't know who they are, but they would be so into it and enjoy it if they love wrestling or just like wrestling because, hey, we get to go see it. And guess what? Why it's special? Because mommy's taking us and we get to go see something that we've never seen live. And this is how people become wrestling fans. Every wrestling fan, don't believe this crap. You think every wrestler that comes through a WWE curtain, it's always been my dream since I was, stop lying. Stop lying. Everybody, it is always just your dream to just go to the WWE. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's always that nonsense. They're told to say this nonsense. And these are the same ones that end up getting let go. So, yeah. Just imagine how crushed that person would feel. Oh, they're jobbers, nothing but jobbers, and they're just jobbers. And it's like, wow, listen to your arrogant ass, your ignorant, arrogant ass. You guys don't understand how stupid you sound. You take this stuff way too serious. And I don't have a need to do a part 3. I was going to do this in 3 parts, but I'm just getting this all out, and this will be part 2 and the last of, this little series here. But yeah, man, and this is what I'm saying. We grew up in a time, man, where we just love to watch professional wrestling, man. When Cactus, I seen Andre the Giant in person. We went to Madison Square Garden. We saw him, Roddy Piper. He fought Piper. I know Junkyard Dog was there that night. Killer Khan. We saw Jimmy Snuka. The Moon Dogs, the Killer Bees. I've seen Cactus Jack, Sting, Luger. This was where did we see them at? It was in North Carolina, somewhere in North Carolina, one of their WCW shows. We've got to see. I've seen Brit as a kid, Nick Bockwinkel, Terry Funk, Steamboat. We've seen these guys, but we've seen a whole lot of people. There's a guy that used to wrestle And I heard that he retired. I think I read that he retired like four, maybe, I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe two, maybe 3, 4 years, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And he went by the name of Mr. Touchdown. And he used to come out dressed up in a football outfit. And the kids loved that guy. He's not popular to the world. You go type in Mr. Touchdown and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, he wasn't popular to like really. He never became that big. You know, Spencer Slade. He's a guy that I watch right now. He's in the NWA, and you know, other independent circuits. But Spencer Slade is another guy. I mean, they you know, this is what I mean. You guys, and this is why when you guys use that term jobbers, man, I want to smack the shit out of every last one of you. Because let me explain something to you guys. In life, the people that work the hardest get paid the least. So when you're sitting up here disrespecting someone's credibility, calling them jobbers and all this stupid shit, I don't care. Who the fuck are you? Nobody cares about what you're saying, other than your little minions that tune in because they're miserable just like you and have nothing else better to do with their time. So let's shit on the little guy and sit here and suck ass to these people. Do you really think that any of these wrestlers care about you on a personal level? Do you think these rappers, these actors, these singers, do you think that they care about your stupid ass on a personal level? They don't know you. It's a form of entertainment. Either you like it or you don't. But you guys go way too far with all of this ranting and complaining. Stop watching it. Walk away from it. Maybe that will fucking put some fire to their heels and make them do better. But as long as you're tuning in, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. A lot of people, like example, the people that already tuned out, you're talking about it. You're sitting here making it known, but they're smarter than your dumbass because they're like, I ain't wasting my time. While you're still sitting here talking like you're going to be the saving grace of the WWE. I realize we're not going to change those things. There are times and different things where I've made videos hoping the same thing, that a person might see your video, but it was constructive. It was something that was to just bring awareness to, hey, you know what? This guy got a point. Yeah, we should do that. That's what it was about. But how many times are you going to make the same video? You guys are making the same exact video every week. I miss those days when I can call up my homie. Hey, you watching UWF? Yeah, man, it didn't go worry about the wrestling. Yeah, well, hurry up. Because when it's over, the AWA coming on. We going, yeah, all right, cool, yeah, this and this. Yeah, I mean, we had fun. So this new wave of wrestling fans, you guys suck, man. Yeah, you guys suck. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you like. But you know that being negative gets attention. And that's why y'all do it. I don't believe none of you. You can't really be that stupid that you're forcing yourself to watch something that you don't have to. You can't be that stupid. And the fact of the matter is, if you're monetizing your channel just talking about a company by bashing what they're doing, then you're no better than they are, because all you're doing is being a user. I don't like what they're doing, but I'm going to talk about them. And yeah, like I said, at first it seemed like they were just going through a funk. That's what you guys thought. I told you, no, this is not, you don't get it. This is their new direction. This is not the WWE that you liked. So when you guys keep bringing up WrestleMania 40, it's like, are you stupid or are you dumb? Yes, that was a year ago. It changed. It's not what it was. It's a different product. Hell, The Rock doesn't even look the same anymore. What do you guys think? And I actually heard Vince Russo sit there and say he believed, or Bully Ray, he believed that The Rock is going to make an appearance and he's going to be John Cena's final opponent. Where the hell do people dig this stuff? Where did you even get this from? I'm not being funny. I don't know what Rock like he got goddamn cancer or something. His face his face looks all sunken and skinny, and he's aged. Like he looks older than 52, 53, whatever. He looks older. He looks way older than that. And the fact that he lost so much weight, it looks bad. Who the hell want to see, if you're Samara and a fucking stick figure comes in, who wants to see The Rock in the ring now? Where did this even come from? This is what I'm saying, man. People just say things to get attention, but we went well over an hour, and I'm going to close this video. But yeah, if you love pro wrestling, then try to uplift pro wrestling and not single yourself out to be a slave of the machine, because that's all you are. You're not wrestling fans. Shut up. Wrestling fans support wrestling. You are WWE retards that don't know what you like. You don't know what you want. And it's facts. This is why you keep tuning in, crossing your fingers, and talking about how you don't even watch the whole show. It's garbage, it's trash, right? And you'll jump up, and you only say that to try to make yourself only look like half an ass. Left cheek, right cheek, cheek of choice. But you're an ass, a whole ass. Okay? Cheek, crack, and hole. Okay? Bottom line. All you guys are doing is showing your form of being toxic, but you think you're doing justice to what? The wrestling community? Nah, MLW is not benefiting off what you're saying. AEW is not benefiting off of what you're saying. New Japan started with none of them. They're not benefiting off of what you're saying. And what they've done it on their own. WWE had nothing to do with it. So no, you're not uplifting wrestling because you have nothing good to say about pro wrestling. What it used to be, right. You have nothing good to say about it. And if you can't enjoy wrestling as a genre, then what the hell do you have a wrestling channel for? You can't find nothing that you like? Shame on you. Oh, and by the way, Maple Leaf Pro too. I like what they're doing over there, man. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. That's all I got for you guys. Catch you on the next video.